Hey guys, welcome back to Emmalition. I'm Emma, this is Emmalition. I fancy doing a little catch-up, channel update, 2023 goals and just general chit-chat video. We haven't done one in a little while, so it seemed like a nice idea. So first and foremost, if you don't like me or care about this channel, you should probably leave. It's your own time you're wasting, I would say. This is going to be very chill. Grab yourself a cup of tea, coffee. You know the drill by now. Let's chat. I did come up with a brief kind of like agenda, channel update. So my bullet points are what's happening on the channel, what are the plans. I haven't put anything else, just what are the plans. My personal 2023 goals, Emmalition 2023 goals, and then current shows I'm enjoying, and I've simply just put The Last of Us in brackets because that's all I'm watching right now, other than Love Island, which I'm not proud of. So before we get into the video and into our little hangout, I would like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Square Enix. This is a really exciting sponsor for me because I've been a fan of Square Enix for quite some time. Obviously, Tomb Raider is one of my favorite games. So thank you guys for sponsoring the video today. We have partnered together to tell you guys about their new game, Forspoken, which is out now. It came to PlayStation 5 and PC on January 24th, 2023, and it was developed simultaneously for PlayStation and for PC, which is quite cool. As someone who is now a PlayStation and a PC gamer, it's quite cool to hear that this game was developed for both at the same time rather than just for one and then ported over. I thought that was interesting anyway. Forspoken is also the debut title from Square's newly established studio Luminous Productions, so I think it's pretty awesome to be able to support a game from a new studio. Forspoken puts players in the shoes of Frey Holland, an ordinary young woman who must harness her magical abilities to survive in a fantastical and dangerous land called Athia. I picked up Forspoken this week and I absolutely love how fluid the game feels, how easily you're able to traverse through the magical environment and all of the kind of like wizard parkour. I think one of the reasons I'm really excited to play this game is I'm a huge fan of Ella Balinska already. She plays the main character and I know that she has been a gamer since she was like 8 years old, so I'm really excited to support her in this game. I'm really excited to support the studio. There's a link in my description. Go check out the game. There is also a demo that you can try first, so go and check that out. Please use the link in my description and enjoy the magic that Forspoken has to offer. It's a huge release to get us started this year. It's only January, so thank you Square Enix for sponsoring this video again. I really do appreciate working with you guys, and yeah, let's continue our video. So at the risk of making this whole video an ad, let's jump into my list. So first of all, what is happening on the channel right now? On the channel right now, we are playing Sekiro. I'm having a very flippin' good time with this game. I already ordered a print for my office for Sekiro because I just feel it taking over my personality at a rate of knots. I'm sure if you've played it, you can relate. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. We're doing Sekiro Sundays, so I'm keeping it to once a week. When I started playing, I did think, oh, I could probably push this out twice a week because I'm trying to play it more regularly than I normally would with a let's play game, just so I can keep my skills sharp. But I'm trying not to overextend myself this year, so I'm keeping it to once a week. I guess that kind of brings me on to something else I was going to speak about a bit later, but it was just general like goals for 2023 on my channel. One of my biggest Emmalition goals is to not overextend myself. I think when it got to like the end of December last year, I looked and I'd uploaded like 120 videos or something like that in 1 year. I'm one woman, I don't have an editor, and I work full time. So I was like, wow, I'm really proud of myself. That's such a huge amount of videos. And I was also like, why did I do that? I think when I look back at last year and realize how burnt out I was, I can kind of realize why now. Like, it's definitely not good for me to be putting out that much content, and I think the quality kind of started to slip, which is why one of my other goals is also to have a maximum of 2 playthroughs at once, because I think at one point I had like 3 different games on the go that I was playing, like Detroit Become Human, Dark Souls, something else, I can't even remember, and it was just too much. And I think I was rushing the editing, I wasn't maybe enjoying the games as much as I could have. And I really feel like you guys deserve quality and patience and someone that's very much into the game that they're playing. So that's what I want to give, which is why I've kind of taken a backseat on God of War at the moment. You've probably noticed, and I don't want to not acknowledge that. Yeah, with God of War, I love those games and I'm really enjoying Ragnarok. However, the views were dipping quite significantly, which tells me as a creator that the majority of people that watch my channel aren't enjoying those videos. And it's not that I am hugely driven by views, but I am growing increasingly concerned about the algorithm and what I might be doing to my channel by constantly posting things that people aren't watching. So I'm not really sure what to do about that. I think I'm currently thinking I'm going to maybe pause God of War, finish Sekiro, and then I can kind of give God of War the attention it deserves, because it's hard playing it when, for example, Dark Souls and Sekiro views are doing really well, and it kind of, you go throughout the week with a high, a low, a high, a low, and it is hard. It is demoralizing. I think most people would admit that they're semi-driven by views and positive feedback, and it's hard to have them side by side. So I think I would much prefer to play God of War all at once and actually sit down and enjoy the game, instead of thinking, okay, I have to do God of War this week, no one wants to watch it. So if it's okay with you, I will be pausing that playthrough for a bit. And we'll be focusing on Sekiro on a Sunday. I just think that's going to allow me to dedicate a lot more of my time, energy, quality to both games, really. Sekiro is hard, okay? It's a hard game. It's really hard. I can't play another game on the channel at the same time. I need to just make Sekiro my only game. That's just my skill level. It's not very good. So ultimately the focus is on quality over quantity. I don't want to bash games out. I don't want to bash playthroughs out. I just want to make good videos for you guys. And I think you get caught in this trap as a YouTuber where you want to push out as much content as you can. Just create, because the more you create, the more views your channel gets, the more milestones you hit. And it's just not sustainable and it's just not healthy for me. And I think that I'm kind of at the point where I've needed to take a step back and just think about what matters to me. And ultimately, what matters most to me on this channel is making good videos, enjoying the games, and making sure that you guys are enjoying the games too. So that's it. It's not money, it's not views, it's not subscriber count, anything. It's just the fundamentals. It really is just the fundamentals of, have I put my heart and soul into this? If no, why not? And then that's where you have to take a step back and think, okay, it's because I don't have time, because I'm making too many videos or I'm playing too many games at the same time. So I've done a lot of self-work over New Year. I love New Year. I know a lot of people are like, oh, like New Year, new me, it's such crap. Like New Year's resolutions are crap. But for me, like, it is genuinely quite a nice time to have a bit of a reset and just look inward at how I feel. So that's what I came to anyway, as a conclusion. That was a really weird way to say that was the conclusion I came to. Anyway, actually on my list of Emmalition goals, I have to beat Sekiro and Dark Souls 2. So that kind of leads me into the future plans for the channel, which is to just keep playing the games I love. I want to finish Sekiro maybe in the first third of this year. I think we could probably finish it by like March, end of March. And then I'm going to go back to Dark Souls and play Dark Souls 2, which I'm excited for. And then I would like to play Hollow Knight as well, because I know a lot of people were interested in Hollow Knight. The way I see this working is having a kind of regular series, such as Sekiro, every Sunday for a while. And then I want to pick up shorter indie games like Detroit Become Human, What Remains of Edith Finch, Little Nightmares, because some of my fondest memories on this channel last year were picking up those small games and playing them. Detroit Become Human was absolutely phenomenal. And I enjoyed like the week that I was playing that. It really stands out to me as a really good time. I think when you do have to do this part-time, like I spend, 8 till 5 every day at my desk working my day job, and then I have to really think about what I want to sit down and play and what I want to dedicate my spare time to, because I do use pretty much all my spare time to do this. So just having that small injection of those fantastic indie stories really just makes so much difference to my life. Like, I played What Remains of Edith Finch in a couple of hours last night, and I just felt so happy because I think ultimately I just love games. I love so many different games, just the medium of gaming. I love exploring new genres, and it's hard to do that when you have dedicated most of your year to like one game. For example, Elden Ring last year, the best game ever. Have you seen my wonderful chair from Noble Chairs? The best chair in the world. Insert B-roll here. Like, Elden Ring is like one of my favorite games of all time, but it did dominate the majority of 2022, which can get a bit like one track, I guess. So just having a couple weeks where you're just like playing a brand new game and it's maybe a genre you haven't tried before. For me, that's so important, just to keep me sharp as a gamer and to keep understanding what's out there. As much as I'm like soul supremacy, you know, you can't underestimate the value of some of these games because they are incredible. Just rambling on here to myself. I'm talking to my wall. No, I'm talking to you guys. But I've been recommended a couple of other games as well. My friend wants me to play Firewatch. I don't know if you guys have played that. That's been on my list for quite some time. I think it's kind of similar mechanically to What Remains of Edith Finch in terms of it's kind of a bit of a walking sim where you explore and find clues and things. I just love it. I think it really demonstrates the beauty of the medium. I don't have any subscriber goals as such. I'm not like, okay, by this month I want to have hit this many. My only goal as a YouTuber ever is to get 100k so I can get the play button. When that is, I don't mind, but I just want the play button one day, just because I grew up watching YouTube. I've had favorite YouTubers on here since I was like 12 or 13. They've carried me through school. They've carried me through uni. Like, it would mean everything to me to get that. I don't know if I ever will. You never know if your channel will blow up, if you'll just fly under the radar forever. But what I do know is the community we have here now is more than enough for me. I wouldn't change it for the world. And that's why I like doing these chatty videos, because I don't interact with comments as much anymore. So I know that if you're watching this, you probably aren't a dick. Probably. I kind of went off comments sort of towards the end of last year because a couple of people spoilt Detroit Become Human for me, which I didn't see, but my friends did tell me they'd seen in my comments. So that sucks. And then also Dark Souls seemed to attract a bit of a mean audience. And while I am quite thick-skinned, you know, it does get to you after a while when, like, I've just been laboring. I put everything into this channel. Like, most of my free time is spent making videos and playing these games, editing, rendering, posting on socials, like maintaining my channel. And just to have so much negativity under some of the videos about just the way I play or the weapon I choose or if I'm cheating or not, it was just exhausting and I just couldn't be bothered to read it anymore. It just started to get me down. But that meant I was missing out on comments from people I love, like, you know, you guys, like nice people who are hilarious and have a lot to say and make memes out of the stupid stuff I do. And I think that made me feel a little bit disconnected from the channel as a whole. So again, these videos are great because I like chatting to you guys under them and hearing your opinions about things and what you're up to. And yeah, so that was also another motivation for doing this video too. Just going to touch a bit on my like personal goals outside of Emmalition as well. And I would love to hear your guys' 2023. I feel like at the start of this video I said 2022 when I meant 2023, but I can't remember. Guess I'll find out. But I'd love to hear your guys' goals as well. So I will read you mine now. So you guys, if you read a lot, are probably going to think this is pathetic, but I have read 6 books. Last year I read 1 book. One. That's awful. I read The Hobbit, which was amazing, and I would read it again tomorrow, but one book isn't very good. So I want to read 6. I used to read all the time growing up. Like, reading was my thing. I absolutely loved it. I did English at uni, and then just in the age of like TikTok and Twitter and just things that are very easily digestible and steal your attention away, I just don't read anymore, and I wish I did. So I'm currently reading The Cat Who Saved Books. I'm 3 chapters in. Well done me. It's the 25th of Jan, but it's really cute. It's set in Japan. It's about this boy whose grandpa passes away and leaves him his old bookshop, and then he gets visited by a magical cat who needs him to help save books. And it's so good. So I'm determined to finish that before February, because if I can't read like a book in 2 months, then I don't deserve rights, quite frankly. But if you have any recommendations of things that are like good that you like, please let me know. Another one of my goals is to play games just for fun, which sounds dumb, but like, again, since having a YouTube channel where you play games, you don't necessarily make time for gaming outside of YouTube, which is sad. So I think that Forspoken is actually going to be one of my for fun games. I'm not going to do a playthrough, but I think I am going to play it maybe with Luke and just have a good time by myself. Not everything has to be content. So that's a huge one for me, actually. Just play some games for fun. It doesn't have to be a clip on the internet. It doesn't have to be a video. Just play the damn game. And finally, another personal goal is to build more Magic decks. You guys might have seen my Magic the Gathering video that I made a few months ago, but I only have 2 decks of my own. I always borrow my friends. So I have 2 new commanders. If you don't care about Magic, skip forward a little bit. But if you do care, these are my 2 new commanders. So we have the Reaper King, which the art on this is just so cool. Sorry, he's in a shiny sleeve, so you can't really see the art very well. I'm going to take it out. Why not? It's foil as well. See a bit better now? Isn't he cool? So this deck is going to be called Don't Fear the Reaper. You know, one of the best songs ever. And his ability is that other scarecrow creatures I control get +1/+1, and whenever another scarecrow enters the battlefield under my control, destroy target permanent. Notice it doesn't say non-land permanent, it just says permanent. So this is going to get very disgusting very quickly. And then my other one is Aetherios, God of Passage. I don't know if you can really see, but he's like triple bagged, so I don't want to take him out. This was very much inspired by my friend at Ristic Studies. I will put his channel link in the description. Aetherios is a legendary god creature with indestructible, and he has, as long as your devotion to white and black is less than 7, Aetherios isn't a creature. Whenever another creature you own dies, return it to your hand unless target opponent pays 3 life. So I haven't got a plan for this deck yet. My other one is very much just a scarecrow deck with lots of disgusting creatures in it. Aetherios, I'm not sure, because people have to pay life if your creatures die. I don't want people to have a lot of life to be able to do that. So I think I'm going to have to make it like a lot of cards that make people lose life, so they don't want to pay the 3 because they will have already lost life from other stuff in my deck. So I just need to think about how this is going to work mechanically. But my friend Sam with the Ristic Studies channel, which I just mentioned, did an incredible video about Aetherios, which just made me need this commander. Like, I didn't have any plans. I was just like, I need that because his channel is all very much about the lore, the art, the stories behind Magic the Gathering, and that's very much what I'm driven by. So if you are interested in that, I'm going to put the video link somewhere on the screen. You should definitely go watch that if you want to learn more about Aetherios and just how freaking cool he is, and all of the inspiration throughout history that led to the creation of this awesome creature, and the beautiful art on it as well. So yeah, that went off on a tangent, didn't it? Damn. I'm almost out of coffee. Uh-oh. The only other thing I had on my agenda to talk about is the TV show I'm watching. Woo! What do you guys think of The Last of Us so far? I love it. The last episode I watched, if you don't want The Last of Us spoilers, either like for the game or the show, I will put a timestamp on the screen of where to skip to. But I'm going to be talking spoilers like solidly for the next probably 2 minutes. So you've been warned. The last episode we watched, there's 2 episodes out at the moment, was the one where Tess dies. You're going to regret it if you didn't turn it off. And in the game, she gets gunned down by Fedra agents. In the show, they made it so she got like snogged by a zombie. which was so strange artistically. I liked it. I thought it was disgusting. I know some people have found it a bit uncomfortable for various reasons. I think my friend Marcus said he didn't like that they turned it into a bit of a Hollywood death by kind of like making the museum explode and all of that. But I kind of think for the purpose of adaptation and reformatting things, it did work. It was very stylistically cool, and I think it's interesting to build on the changes with the zombies, with all of the tendrils and the fungal network and stuff. So I see why they did it. It did make me uncomfortable and it was vile, but I kind of think that was the point. So I'd be interested to know what you guys thought of that. I've asked you guys a lot of questions in this video, so I'm expecting the comments to have essays and I will be replying to them. So yeah, but I'm loving The Last of Us. It's absolutely heartwarming for me seeing one of my favorite games come to life through the sets and the environment. And Pedro Pascal is just phenomenal. Like, he is Joel. I'll be one of the people who say that when he got cast, I was like I think he's a great actor, but Joel, he just doesn't. Joel, really? Happy to be proved wrong. I feel like an absolute fool because wow, he is Joel. He embodies him beautifully. So yeah, I was also very, very fortunate to be invited by Sky and Now to The Last of Us premiere in London. I got to go to the BFI IMAX in Waterloo and watch it with my friend Mill. We had the best time. It was so cool. The way that they dressed the event was absolutely phenomenal. If you wanted snacks and drinks, they had like vending machines which were all broken, and they basically said like go and loot yourself some like food and drinks, so you could just go and like basically ransack the vending machines, which I thought was such a nice touch. But we had such a good time. I absolutely loved it. The only problem is now watching it in my living room just isn't quite the same as watching it in the IMAX. I do think for shows like The Last of Us and House of the Dragon and things like that, they should just start screening them in cinemas, because I would honestly I'd pay like a $5 a week. I genuinely would. Anyway, I think that's kind of all I had in terms of updates and general thoughts and just things about my life. The main takeaways from this are that I'm going to be putting a lot more focus and energy into the channel this year, and I'm going to focus less on scattergunning myself and putting out as much content as possible, and a lot more on like nurturing what we have here and putting a lot of effort into the editing and making sure I'm playing the game well. I think that's something that you don't appreciate until you play something like Sekiro. You're like, I need to take this game seriously or it's going to destroy me mentally, physically, and spiritually. So that's where I'm at. Please let me know how you guys are. I would love to hear from you. If you want to comment on anything I said in this video, please do. And yeah, I'm going to see you guys really soon for more Sekiro. I'm going to pick up some one-off games, like What Remains of Edith Finch, that kind of thing. And I'll just see you around. As always, check me out on Twitter if you haven't already. I'm very, very active on there, maybe too active. So if you want to chat, just at me on there. And yeah, thank you guys so much for all the support on the channel over the last year or so. It means the world to me. This channel has changed my life. Just from all the experiences I've managed to have and all the amazing people I've met through this. So yeah, thank you guys so much for everything. I really hope that you're safe and well and having a wonderful week. And until next time, take care. I'll see you very soon.